Hey, what's up, guys? Frugal BC here, and coming up for another live stream. Wasn't sure I was going to do one today, but I found a bunch of really cool stuff to talk about, so I think we can have some fun today. And I don't know, I think it'd be fun to chop it up. I might throw my like join link. I think I can get that in here yet. Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw my join link in the private chat that I'm in with a bunch of people. See if we can bring some people on. I didn't really plan this ahead of time, so I don't know how many people will be here, but it's always fun to do these live streams. And we got some good news. We're going to go through the charts, of course. We always do. But anytime, of course, feel free to leave a question in the chat for me or whatever you want. So we will get to that. But lots of really cool stuff going on. My favorite thing, though, just want to look at these Algorand charts. Look at that. We got a candle coming up. We got a candle going up. We're at over 19 cents. Yeah, that's up since I went to jiu-jitsu. I left for jiu-jitsu before noon, and here it is a few hours later, and we're at 19 cents, so that's nice. Andre Hicks says, hello to you too. Hope I pronounced that name right. Wawa says, hello, brothers. Greetings from Belgium. Well, thanks. Welcome to the show, Wawa from Belgium. I thought that'd be a cool place to go visit someday. We're going to look at more deep. Shit. Jeez. All right, that might be a little better. I bet it was really quiet, eh? All right, there we go. Here I had the mic. So it might be a long story, but sometimes I have to push. Like when I'm just doing stuff on my computer here, I'm not live streaming, I push my mic out of the way. But I almost forgot to put it back. So here it is. Wawa says we need more of your videos. Well, I appreciate that. Actually, I had, look, it just went up a little bit while we were talking. Actually had that's true. I didn't have a lot of algo videos this week. I think only one of them was an algo video. Swede just dropped like a whole bunch of crazy news. Yeah, I mean, we definitely had to cover them releasing a gaming device, and then they came back and made this partnership with ByteDance or Byte Plus, with the TikTok parent company. I thought that was wild. I'm like, that was really something. We're gonna talk about this chart a little bit later because, well, not just this chart, but all the charts. I was kind of doing a little research into the Bitcoin halving. I wanted to know what happened last time. And actually, there was a pretty big downturn. Well, I wouldn't say a downturn, but it took about 5 months for the big bull run upswing to happen in Bitcoin after the halvings. And I didn't realize it was that long. I always thought it was, because when you look at the charts retrospectively and you don't really look at the dates really closely, it seems like a really short period, but actually it was so last time it happened in May, I think it was early May 11th or something like that of 2022. Was it 2021? Excuse me. And then the Bitcoin didn't really pop off until much later, like the fall, and then further. It was much further for altcoins. It was actually quite a bit later for altcoins like Algorand. So, and we got this little pop up. I actually wouldn't expect anything for altcoins for probably till maybe Christmas time. So, if it takes a while, don't be super alarmed. It might not happen right away. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I'm just saying, be a little patient, and it's still probably to come. It's not going to come right away. And I just want to fix something. I realized I didn't put any hashtags. People say hashtags don't make any difference in YouTube. I think that's nonsense, because I've definitely see a difference if I don't use the right hashtags. And I put this together pretty quickly. I wasn't 100% sure that I was going to let's see if I can do this on the fly. I wasn't 100% sure I was going to live stream today, but I went to jiu-jitsu, came back, had some time, felt good, and here we are. All right, let's put my tags in. Just give me a second. Every once in a while, I do a search just to see. And then every once in a while, I do like a blank search on YouTube, like from a what do they call that again? Private window, just to see like how just to see like how I'm doing in search. And yeah, Algorand, I really crush it. And Sui, I'm in the game with Sui now too. Not so much with Hedera. I need to work on my Hedera videos, but see what people got to say, and then we're gonna go to Coin Market Cap here. So Wawa saying, what do you think? What do you think in this bull run? So I've been I'm not super bullish on Algorand overall, but I think it'll do okay. My target is $2 to $3. I just based on its past price action and how far it's fallen. I'd love to be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Wrong to the upside is very good. I don't think I'll be wrong to the downside, but it's possible. Ski Mask Plays says hello, and hello, welcome back to our stream. Got a nice little audience here, and we're just looking at this. Yeah, well, okay. So Wawa says $2 is nice. Well, the problem is that would be below its all-time high. So if we can't get, I think it's trouble for Algorand if it can't top its all-time high, in my opinion. Ski Mask was asking, what do I think Bitcoin will top out? I'm aiming for. I don't have like a super strict price target, but I think this is the year it's going to go over 100,000. I think from what we've seen, if you look at the patterns, it's been kind of leveling off. And I think, did we show this on the last live stream? I think we kind of talked about this. Every bull run has been just a little bit less pumpy, for lack of a better word. It's just pumped a little less every time. So I think we're kind of seeing a leveling off. I think the stabilization from all the institutions that are popping into Bitcoin now, the ETFs, I think that all provides like a stabilizing force. So I think what you're going to see is I think we're going to get over 100K, but not much more than that. Because I think we were supposed to. I think most people figured with the way the curve was going that we should have gotten over 100K last time, and we didn't. Because of it was kind of truncated last time. That's another thing I'm a little bit worried about. I'm actually more worried about that. Last time, our bull run was kind of cut off, and I'm a little worried that that's going to happen again. If there's too much sell pressure from bigger institutions, I'm a little concerned about that. So we'll see. When we talk about this stuff, like it's all kind of speculation, and anyone who tells you they know exactly what's going to happen is just full of beans. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, because I don't think they should be telling you that. But boy, is it sure nice to see Algorand going up. I'm looking at it's a long story, but usually with my DeFi, I've been sticking with stable coins. Just because of the stability, and you're just gaining every day, instead of, you don't have to worry about the impermanent loss aspect of it. But I went back into Algorand USDC this last period, and so now I'm waiting. Now that it actually ended around, this part right here in the middle. This is about where, I don't know if you can see this here. You can see that with this. Okay, that's around where somewhere around here is where I joined in. It was about this price. So I wanted to get to, before I jump back into my DeFi with some of the stuff. I still have USDC, US Tether now again. That's the new one I entered, but I still have a bunch of loose algo. I got like 13,000 loose algo. Well, no, 1,300, sorry, not 13,000. And I'm just waiting to jump back in. I want the price a little bit higher so I don't have too much impermanent loss. I know I'm losing some on the upside, but it makes such a difference at those levels. All right, let's see. Let's look at the market overall. I actually haven't looked at the market since this morning. Yeah. Sorry about that. Oh boy, did I kill my viewership? Oh Jesus, that was so stupid. That was the wrong one. Because I'm live, but is this the one? Did I lose everybody? Oh, here we are. Sorry about that. I think I just sorry for the slight now I gotta fix this again. Hold on. Yeah, live streaming. Okay, let's see what we're doing. I've noticed this, and this only occurred in the past few days that we've been like more in neutral territory instead of bullish territory, or what do they call it? Greedy territory. I think that's pretty interesting. Yeah, so everything's kind of back up on the upswing ever so slightly. Solana doing good over 150. You know, I bought back in at like 175, and then I also bought back in at 150. So I'm hoping that goes back up again. But we got time. I think the big bull is still to come. Yeah, a lot of stuff is like actually really up on the week, like like Shiba Inu, Avalanche, Chainlink, Polygon. It's actually lowered. Actually, even Polygon, I like lowered my average buy-in. I bought some near. Yeah, here's Near Protocol finally out of that $5 range, 24% pump. Yeah, it was at $8, right? I don't think it hit 10. I think I still have a sell order at 10. Cosmos. You know what I like about Cosmos? I'm like staking for like 13% just through a node, and I don't have to do anything. I think a lot of people like kind of wish Algorand still had that. Then Hedera, pretty solid, back to 8.5 cents. Oh, what did I sell it? Like a 10 or 11 cents or something. I didn't buy back in on that one though. Let's see. What else do I care about? Well, Fetch AI, some of these like Fetch AI and Celestia had really big percentages that they've gained already. Look at this core. Well, we're in the top 60. We don't see Algorand yet, or 61. Though it's at 63. Like a 16% pump. The reason why, just a lot of these other coins have like really pumped since that downturn. Algorand, not so much. It just doesn't pump. You know, we're toward the end of the supply, so that should be turning around. But we got Gala nipping on the heels. I mean, Gala was down. I think it was actually out of the top 100 for a little while, or it was way down there. And now it's like right neck and neck with a market cap. But Gala's got all kinds of problems. You guys should really follow if you really want the real scoop on that. You should follow Old Man Smithers. He's got I can't wait for another one of his videos to come out. He's been really covering all the issues with Gala, but just a S show over there. I'm trying to be nice for the algorithms. Mina, yeah, Mina is popping back up. This is one of my favorites. This one really fell in the market cap though. This was in the mid range. This was getting close to Algorand, and it fell a lot. I think I sold off at like $1.25. I did buy back in on that one a little. Same with PYR. Let's see what people say. Dimitro Aslia. Oh, I'm sorry. Screw that name up. Asliev. We'll call you Dimitro. How about that? We'll get that part right. It says, can Algorand gain a foothold in such a popular category as real world assets? I actually think we're gonna talk about that a little today, actually, because kind of a little debate with Lofty. Not from me, I didn't debate Lofty, but Lofty itself got into a little bit of a debate over its tokens. I think Algorand's kind of leading the way, but Hedera's doing good stuff on this too. So both of these companies, I think Algorand and Hedera are gonna battle each other pretty heavily for this. So I'd expect a lot of a lot of challenge between those two. But I think it's already gaining a foothold, I would argue. I just don't think the crypto market is at the spot where it cares that much, to be honest. Because I think if it did, I think these dog coins would be these meme coins would be not nearly as popular as they are. Wawa asks, is ICP a threat to the other blockchains? ICP does some interesting stuff. I had a little debate. I kind of sparked a little controversy a couple weeks ago because I looked at ICP, and ICP seems to have a format called WebAssembly that allows you to use pretty much any language. And the only stipulation is there's a few extra things you have to do to make it work in WebAssembly, but that just doesn't seem like that big a deal to me. I know people got like John Woods got kind of mad. People getting mad at me, but it's like, hey, I really want to know. I mean, it seems like they're kind of doing the same thing. I know it's not pure proof of Python, or not pure Python, but how much does that matter? Like, how much do you care? Like, I'd really love to hear from a developer about that. Let's see. Gabriel Flores, welcome to the show. He says, I'm not used to algo going up. It feels nice. I was able to grab some extra during the recent dip. That's good. That's how you do it with all this stuff. When it dips, especially, well, let's make some caveats here. When you're going to the, look a little better. When you're in a bull run, and you're in the bull run because we have one every 4 years around the halving. When you're in the bull run, then when you get these dips, that's a good buying opportunity. But if you're on the downswing, that's not such a great buying opportunity. Then you don't want to, Then you're just putting good money after bad. That's what some of the things I worried about with, like, say, Blur. Even Blur actually lowered my price targets on by buying into the dips. I still don't know if that was a great idea. Hakan Dektus, apologies to everybody if I mispronounce your name. I don't mean any disrespect. Says, what's your algo price target till the end of 2024? Well, I don't know about end of 2024 exactly, but I think it's going to peak around $2 to $3. That's my prediction based on its past price action, based on how much it fell, and just based on general sentiment. Algorand struggles in that sense. I'm not really sure why. MacGyver7 says, afternoon, Fergal. Hello, MacGyver. Welcome to the show, my friend. And Jiro says 3 to 4 in 2025. Yeah, maybe. You never know. All right, I want to talk about, okay, this one's a good one. So, this is a really interesting argument about tokenization, and it involves Jerry Chu of Lofty AI. He kind of defends it a little bit, but it's kind of an interesting breakdown on, like, whether tokenization is really effective, and whether there's some criticisms here. So I think this is interesting. So why don't we take a look at this? Just give me a second. All right, so this is from a creator called Els. Pretty decent following, but bigger than mine. It says, claim tokenization is more or less a failed concept. Is there one example of useful blockchain tokenization of anything that is not a treasury or other US dollar asset that people actually use? The treasury case is more or less regulatory arbitrage. Okay. Well, I mean, Lofty, I would have brought up Lofty right away, right? So, okay, let's see. There has been hand waving and money raising about tokenization, supply chains, real estate, stocks, medical records. Nothing, as far as I can tell, has above zero user adoption, wrong, other than tokenized treasuries and tokenized synthetic treasuries. I think of myself as, in general, open-minded to blockchain applications and try to err on the optimistic side, but in my opinion, the idea of tokenization of assets probably more or less never made sense in theory. It's been a few years and it doesn't seem to work in practice either. Okay, so I think these conversations are really interesting because one of the criticisms I see of cryptography, of cryptocurrencies, is that it seems to be, to some people, to be a solution in search of a problem. In other words, it seems like people are more focused on the crypto itself than the problems it can solve. And you see that a lot with various different projects, right? So let's see. Yeah, like I mean, even a lot of Web3 companies, I've been pretty critical of them. Web3 gaming, I mean, I should say more specifically, I've been a little annoyed at some of the Web3 gaming companies because they will. It seems like it's an excuse. So the fundamental theory is like, well, you're already paying money to play these games, or you might be already buying these in-game assets. Wouldn't it be nice if you can own it? And then the company can't make it go away. The problem is what happens instead is a lot of these companies pre-sell NFTs. They earn a bunch of money selling these NFTs, and then they just never come out with the game. I was watching Miranda videos like 3 years ago I think it was 3 years ago when they launched it was 3 years ago when they launched their big token sale. People spent thousands of dollars on these things, and the game's still not live and functioning. So in 3 years, I mean, you're selling things for a game you don't have. And so I can understand the interesting enough, he didn't add gaming in there. Not really. Did he specify real world assets? He just said tokenization. And the other thing that can happen too, even if for a live game, and we've seen this with Townstar, like, yeah, they can stop, like, have owning it means they can't take it from you, but they can nerf it in the game, so they can make it 100% useless. So I paid almost $300 for this NFT in Townstar, and then it's just like, it's still not. I think to this day, I don't think it's the earning function that I bought it under is turned on. So like, control is kind of an illusion, right? However, Jerry Chu, no, is this the CEO? Oh, he's the CEO now, co-founder. So Max, I think Max is the other. Oh, what's his name? Max. I can't think of his last name. I actually reached out to them really early in the channel and asked if they wanted to come on. They didn't, but we chatted back and forth a few times. But Jerry Chu's the other guy. I guess he's the CEO officially. I think the other guy might have been the CEO. I'm not sure. But of Lofty AI. So he says, check us out over at Lofty AI for tokenized real estate. It's pure marketplace, and properties are run and managed by their owners through a DAO LLC. Thousands of users and over 150 available tokenized properties. Disagree with your claim. Yeah, and he's right. As far as like saying, hey, there's no use, well, he's wrong. That's flat out wrong, because this is a really good use. Okay, so Alt actually responded. So this is where it gets interesting, I think. Okay, so he says there are like a million non-crypto ways to do this, though. What's the value of crypto besides regulatory arbitrage? So I'm not going to like read his thing yet. I don't think regulatory arbitrage is even the thing. The value is, I know that I have a tokenized proof of my ownership, and it allows me to do that at a $50 level. To do this is actually an insane statement right here. All saying there are like a million non-crypto ways to do this. When you're talking about selling blocks of this in $50 increments, and to have that tokenized and verified, it would be a mess. It'd be a hot mess. And there's so many things that could go wrong with doing it in a non-crypto way. I think this is actually one of the best ways. This is one of the best uses for crypto. And so Jerry True responds. Let's see how much. He says, I see the mob comment. This is going to be interesting. It says, we actually looked into this before we started. There isn't a good way to do this without blockchain for what we think is necessary to exceed here. Here's a few key details. We need transactions to be public records, and people can look up their transactions and prove ownership without involving the company. Right. That's a big part. That's huge, by the way. Similar how you can look up the deed to a house today. Right. Can you imagine? Oh my God, it would just be a nightmare. if you had this many people, you'd all have to sign contracts, which I imagine there would be multiple. I don't know if you guys have ever bought a house. When you buy a house, there's like a ton of stuff you have to do. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. So for every single person to do all of those things every time they bought a token, yeah, tokenization is like this is really the best usage for tokenization. And by the way, I'm not a huge Lofty stan. I've done videos where I've pointed out some of the issues with them, but overall as a concept, I think it's great. Transactions have to be peer-to-peer from seller of the property directly to buyer. Funds can't pass through the company's books, banks, walls. Great point. Should the company fail? Here's a key thing. Here's a key thing. Should the company fail, owners need to still legally own their assets and be able to trade peer-to-peer. Need smart contracts for this, and company just acts as the front-end access. Again, can you imagine the mess, the absolute mess of just untangling you'd have to do if this company didn't do this via blockchain? It'd be a nightmare. Oh, this is crazy. It's crazy that someone would think, oh, you could just do this. You could just do this without crypto. Actually, no, you can't. And how do we know that? Because nobody's doing it this way. The closest thing you have is REITs. And that's not really the same thing, because that's like the company chooses the real estate and you just own a chunk of it. It's kind of like an ETF for real estate. And I'm not saying this thing is perfect. It's definitely not, but yeah, this is good. We'll keep going. And then you need to provide liquidity for instant trading of assets without company or a single party putting up all the funds. AMNs plus liquidity pools solve this. This is really new, by the way, though, and you can't even use it with your external wallet. So that means I actually wanted to sell a bunch of my properties, and all the ones that are on my external wallet, I can't do it. I think I could transfer them. You just have to be kind of careful. Anyway, it says now there are more nuanced reasons why these are the requirements to what we are building, but they will be a very long conversation. So far, we have tokenized just about $30 million US worth of properties and help facilitate $45 million US worth of trading volume. This is still small for the real estate market, but also not negligible. I think it's not negligible for sure. Most of our users aren't even crypto people. They are real estate investors and might not even realize they're using crypto rails. I gotta highlight that. Again, they are, in fact, I'm gonna back up a little bit. Most of our users aren't even crypto people. They are real estate investors and might not even realize they are using crypto rails. That's huge. And I'll tell you, I actually have a couple like non-crypto people I know in real life who were interested in Lofty. In fact, I gotta check to see if they actually followed through. One was like I actually sent him after we talked about it. He's like, yeah, send me your videos on it. I want to see. It says we don't market and our growth is pretty much all word of mouth. That's also wild. But a testament to what I just said, right? Yeah, like non-crypto people are interested in this because it makes real estate investment accessible. So I will say you remember I said solutions in search of a problem? This is actually a problem that crypto is providing a solution for. It says we don't market and our growth is pretty much all word of mouth on a net basis. We have never lost users in a given month since our inception. If we achieved all of this with Web 2 users through a Web3 product, I think it shows we are building things in the right way and actually getting that elusive mainstream adoption that every crypto person has been talking about for the last 10 years. Yeah, we talk about that all the time. That's what I'm talking about. And I think Lofty can actually improve on some of this stuff, but getting people outside of the crypto, did they say how many? The most. So more than most implies at least more than 50%. So that means most of their users are not crypto people. That's wild. How do they know that though? Because I know this. Okay, so I mean, I imagine I'm trying to think about how they might delineate that. And Lofty has an option where the either you bring your own wallet, use your Para wallet or whatever, or Lofty has its own wallet. So it's possible that's how they're counting it. That seems, the more I think about that, I don't know if I buy that exactly. because you could be a crypto person, but you could come in and be like, oh, well, if they just have the lot wallet, maybe I'll just use that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe and actually, like they kind of funnel you to the internal wallet instead of your own. So like a lot of the newer stuff that I bought, it's just on the Lofty wallet. So yeah, I don't want to like I don't want to bash that too much, but I think that's interesting though. Even if it's like, dude, even if it's 25%, that would be huge. If it really is more than half, that's really big. That means they're bringing a lot of people into something that's operating on crypto. He says we don't. Okay, so so Alls just says good luck. The Algorand mob seems to be with you at least. What is like crappy way to respond? I'm sorry, that is awful. That's horrible. He just, I mean, this is a really good, this is a well laid out argument. I mean, this is pretty hard to deny. Like if I would say, hey, you know what? Like this is how Al should have responded. He should have said, hey, you know what? Actually, okay, that does that. Okay, there's one. You know, I give you credit. Rand says, does this perfectly constructed tweet not compel you to at least look at the platform? I took a look. It looks fun. I'm not in a position to judge PMF well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just think like I don't think this is a bad I don't think his claim there's been a lot of failures, right? There's been a lot of stuff that didn't pan out the way we would like. But I think Jerry made a really good argument for for a good use case for tokenization. This is one of the ones I've always said too. Now I have my issues with it. I think it's still a little clunky, and I would like to see it be more user friendly. But I got to give Jerry credit. I think he laid out the argument really well, and I think the better thing would say, hey, you know what, that sounds good. I mean, you got a good point. I think to dismiss it, kind of hand wave it like that. This is like this just says, yeah, I lost. I lost the argument. Anyway, see what people got to say here. We got a lot of people coming. A lot of comments. Giro says Lofty and Travel X insane on Algorand. Yeah, that would be example number 2 actually is Travel X because you can buy airline tickets and it's minted as a NFT, and then you can go sell them. Well, that's actually solving a problem because like right now you can't sell airline tickets. So anyone's on this one yet? Okay. All right, let's work our way down. Hawkins says, any guess on next current target? 45. It depends what you mean by next target. Like my my bull run prediction, peak bull run prediction is between $2 and $3. I'll be happy to be wrong to the upside, but that's what I'm thinking. Foischel says, hi, buddy. Hello, Foischel. Where are you guys all from? I see a lot of like names that seem unfamiliar to me, so I'm just curious, like where in the world you're from. Let me know in the chat. I find that interesting. We had someone from Belgium. I know that. I think we had someone from Germany a while back. Kind of cool. I'm in the U.S. in the Midwest. CRU. ISO jetpack. I don't know what that means. It says partnered with Algo to handle its whole ecosystem. Fleischer says Algo is terrible at marketing. Yeah, I'm hoping the new CMO. I see good things from him so far. I like that he's getting involved with the community. So ISO Jetpack says the tokenomics are awesome. Depend and data storage with IPFS, basically a Filecoin with Meta connects. Terrible at partnering though. Gleason 26, welcome to the show. He says, Cody. Hmm. I have a little bit of Cody, not a lot, just a little bit. Got some during Coinbase Earn, and then I think I bought a little more. Haven't checked up on that. It's like when I don't have a lot of it, just teeny little amount. Hawkins says, as far as I see, algo price is not missing cycles, but not also doing extra price actions at normal days. Well, no, it's not. Almost none of them miss the cycles really, but w- from what I've seen, the price action has been now it's actually up on the year now. But I went through and did a comparison of like a bunch of the stuff in the top 50 when Algorand was still there too. And Algorand had the worst price action of all the ones I checked. It was only second only to Gala. Gala was actually worse, but Gala's been doing pretty well again. ISO says Algorand is quantum resistant. True, and it's actually an interesting little conversation in the Algorand podcast. I don't know if you guys caught that. I did a reaction to part of it. I'll probably try to do every time they come out with one. I was kind of impressed by Min on there. I thought she seemed interesting. Might like to bring her on the show. Copy prop base. I don't know what that is. Algo should be $5. Well, I wouldn't expect it to be $5 right now, but that would be a really respectable peak. $5 would be a respectable peak bull run. It'd be twice what they did last time thereabouts. I see various numbers. I see people saying the Foischel's from the UK, Wales. So supposedly some of my ancestors are from Wales. That's what my dad said. I don't know if that's true or not. That's pretty cool. And Giro's from Germany. Cool. And Austria, just a little south of Germany. That's very cool. And Hakan's from Istanbul. That's cool. Got quite the worldwide audience here. Oh, here's Cafe Solo. Alciante, Spain. That's fun. Well, you guys are from all over the place. That's really cool. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, speaking of Lofty, I think this is really neat. I'm gonna go forward and then back up. So just give me a second. Yeah, I managed not to turn the stream off this time, so that's cool. So Jerry Chu says we are building something that will let people pay with USDC on any chain, and it's automatically converted and settles to USDCA on Algorand. Won't be a problem soon. Dang, that's kind of huge, by the way. That is kind of huge. Well, let's read that again because that's big. We are building something that will let people pay with USDC on any chain, and it's automatically converted and settles to USDC on Algorand. Won't be a problem soon. That is wild. Look at the responses. People are excited about this. So here's this is a response to something. Let's go back. Actually, this is a response to, okay, hold on. Let me get a drink of water for this. Folks Finance choosing Avalanche over Algorand for their central hub. It's shocking that the biggest Algorand DeFi DApp chose this other chain as their backbone tech. Is it a red flag? Maybe not, but might be worthwhile to think about the reasons why they chose Avalanche. It's not shocking. It's expected because Algorand has zero on-ramping for USDC. Jack says, not true. On-ramp USDC with Algorand via Lofty. It's a pretty big, lengthy waiting period, to be honest. And the only reason they have that, they're losing money on it, by the way, is because Algorand has no other options. Not true. I know of at least 2 other ways. Also, how's Lofty losing money? There you go. He says, honestly, our product isn't meant to be an on-ramp, off-ramp for USDC. We just built it because there are so few user-friendly alternatives. We actually lose money right now per transaction. Well, they're losing money on the ramp. on it. Okay, yeah. So just on the on ramp, off ramp. So apparently that's how that came about. Apparently they're also I had no idea. Um I don't know, can you just swap? Like I just swap. I don't know what but not for this. This is like multi-chain. Something that let you pay with USDC on any chain and is automatically converted and settles to USDC. That's a huge problem to solve. So Jerry says, okay, this has resonated with some people. Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a huge one. So when I say we are building something, it's actually Suave Money, Visa for crypto. Let dApps accept any token. Okay, we follow them. Which is another Orange DAO company. Because Orange DAO is like blowing up, man. They're making the miner. They're working on this. Jeez. That are building it. We just integrated them into our Rails. Can't take credit when we don't deserve it. Go give them some love. I am sure they can take care of the USDC on-ramp issue for a lot of Algorand apps. I wonder what he means when he says we. He says we, but it's actually this company. Is he involved in that? It's got the little orange after his name, so he must have some involvement in that. Well, here's the thing. I think like so. I went to Decipher in 2022, and to go there, the only reason I went there is because NifGen sponsored me and paid for a pretty big chunk of the travel expenses. And it was very, very cool that they did that. So here's the thing. It occurred to me because they to help fund the trip, they actually sent me the money in Algorand. So it got to me in, it got to me in 2 seconds. This is like, enough to pay for, I won't say how much, but it was enough to pay for, most of the flight there. They sent it to me and it took like, seconds, right? Cost next to nothing. And he was in Italy and I was in the US and it got there, boom, no problems. And I was just thinking like crypto people, we kind of take that for granted. We're like, oh yeah, of course you can send crypto really fast. But for most people, they have to use like Western Union or some crap, right? I'm trying not to swear. I'm like very relaxed right now and I'm trying not to swear so I don't get demonetized. I was thinking like, why doesn't someone just develop like a really simple app where you can just someone can send money, take money from like Argentina and send it to Canada and it automatically turns into crypto. So like basically I'm saying like a crypto payment, but it makes it so the user doesn't have to worry about the crypto stuff. They just know they're putting money in and they know the person on the other end's getting it. They don't know it's converted to crypto and, blah, blah, blah. Right. This sounds like it just seems like a super useful app. Like that would solve a big, big problem and probably put Western Union out of business eventually. I think it'd be a huge business. You could actually charge like $1 per transaction or a really small percentage. You'd still be like way cheaper than Western Union. So I think this is like going a long ways to actually solving that problem. And you could do it, this could be like the next step toward that. Swap money, very interesting. Anyway, I thought that was worth sharing. I thought that was interesting because that's an idea I had. Oh no, ISO. You're gonna bring up the ISO 20022 thing. Do I gotta go through my ISO 20022 speech? All right, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to that. Here, I'll go back to full screen for this. ISO says, Frugal, have you seen Infinite, Xinfinite, XET on its Algorand? It's tokenized and insane. Would you mind giving a look? I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm not big on ASAs. Like I don't really put any money into it. They're just too unstable for me. Foishal says, have you looked into ICX? Nope, I don't know much about that. And he asked, do I like Filecoin? I hear good things. I mostly focus on Algorand and Hedera and Sui right now, but I'm definitely always Well, let's see. ISO is not so big in foil coin. He says, he says FIA. I don't know what FIA means. Only problem is tokenomics and market cap doesn't show for much. Cross network. Yeah, I've heard something about that too. I'll have to take a look at that. Okay, ISO 2222. Guys, okay. So I looked into this. Here's the story with ISO 22, and you can watch some more detailed videos on my channel that I've done on this. This is one of the biggest misnomers in all of crypto, and I don't know where it came from. That I've never been able to track back. But if you talk to anybody that works in the blockchain space and you tell them about an ISO 2022 crypto, they don't have any idea what you're talking about. Why don't they know what you're talking about? Because there actually is no such thing as an ISO 2022 compliant crypto or backed or anything like that. It has nothing to do with crypto. It's a bank messaging standard. It's a upgrade from the Swift system. This is why, and this happened, by the way, like, what was it, a month ago? Was it this March or was it back in last March? I think it's been a while. Well, the problem is, here's how this came about, because I'd made an ISO 2022 video, right? Like, this is all over the place. Everyone's talking about it. Then someone says, hey, there's no such thing as an ISO 2022 compliant crypto, right? And I was like, what are you talking about? I see this all over the place. Everyone's talking about this. Well, he linked the commenter. I wish I remember who it was. Linked me a video where Stacey Warden, let's call her Stacey Algorand. Stacey Warden's talking about ISO 2022, and she's like, yeah, we're supposed to be an ISO 2022 crypto. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. There's no way for a blockchain to have anything to do with ISO 2022. It doesn't make any sense. And that was an interview with JT Invests in You, and it was buried. He never clipped that one out. I thought I'm like, dude, you buried the news, man. That's big news. So then I started asking around, and it turns out, like, everybody in the crypto space who's actually working on the blockchain, who knows about the technology, says there's nothing to do. It just doesn't have anything to do with crypto. Even the chief engineer, or the ex-chief engineer of XRP, they're supposed to be one of the certified or something. There's no certification. There's absolutely no, it says right on the ISO 2022 website, on Swift's website, there's no certification for ISO 2022 at all. So there's no way for anything, let alone a blockchain, to be certified. And so John was on my channel. Was this the Christmas one, or is it the one before? I actually asked him about this. I said, so what is the deal with this ISO 2022 stuff? And what he told me is, like, a dApp could use that syntax. It could adopt that syntax. So you could have a dApp, and it makes sense that, like, something like Algorand would be ISO 2022. Well, it wouldn't be compliant, but what I'm saying is, like, it could build a dApp that could do cross-border payments, and it could use that syntax in the dApp. So it'd be at the dApp level. It has nothing to do with the actual chain itself. So I think, like, any coin that has really fast speed, like Hedera, like Algorand, I think XRP is pretty fast. Any of those coins could actually function as a cross-border payments. But the problem is, like, the ISO 22 thing is, like people just don't, they're just wrong about that. Hakan says, why Binance doesn't allow Algo network for USD transactions? I don't know, man. There was a whole thing where, like, Algo USDCA was supposed to be listed, and then I don't know if that ever came about. If it did, it didn't really do much. Oh, LCX, not ICX. Okay. I'm just trying to see. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a messaging standard. Exactly. Okay, so yeah, I know Tiny and folks are coming out with theirs. I don't know about comps. I didn't know about that one. I have a bunch of Nico just because they gave it to me. Stacey Algorand. McGovern says, Frugal, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on Clever blockchain. Well, that's a new one. Haven't heard of that one. Are they listed on Coinbase? We'll take a look at that at some point. Let's see what else we got. Got some interesting Hedera stuff I marked up too. We'll get to that. I might save some stuff. Maybe I'll save the Hedera one. Okay, so this one is before we get that, Mad Lurker. Well, welcome to the show, Mad Lurker. He says, yeah, ISO narrative always made me laugh. Perfect explanation. Too bad no one in crypto does it. Only greed and lies. Yeah, well, I bought it too. Like when someone commented on this channel and said, hey, that's all nonsense. I was like, what are you talking about? Like everyone's talking about this, it was all over the place, and no one's ever been able to give me an explanation of where this first came from. And I'll tell you, people get like really locked into this. They get really mad. I had people, like when I made those videos, like people were really ticked off. They left some nasty comments, I'll tell you what. And it doesn't mean they're not useful. It doesn't mean any of the coins on that list are bad, but like no one knows where this thing came from. Oh my God, I had a guy like just send me like Yahoo Finance articles. I'm like, where do you think they got this from? Like, do you see any sources cited? Anyway, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, so a little original reporting here. I was looking for some videos to respond to. I didn't find anyone for today because I got kind of stuck on this. So I went to InvestAnswers to see if he had made any new videos on like Hedera or Algorand, anything I could respond to and react to. And instead I found this. So I thought this was interesting. So I went to one of his videos and he had an Algorand logo in the video. I didn't realize this, but he does pretty much everything live stream now. So he doesn't have anything, almost nothing. He has almost nothing on like on his regular video page. So this is actually back from 2021. Now you remember how much he disliked. Remember how much he just said he disliked Algorand? Because I don't know if you guys remember this video, but I did a reaction video, not because he was picking on Algorand, but because like the stuff he was saying was nonsense. It was like it was so cherry picked and misread or lacked context, taken out of context. Like it was all stuff that was just crazy. So then I found this, and I found like Algorand was actually part of his video. Like this is part of his 50K portfolio, and I mostly own Bitcoin. But then he had he had Ethereum, okay, sure. But then he had Chainlink, Ava, Solana. Now a lot of people accuse him of being paid by Solana. I don't know. I think I've never had a blockchain reach out and try to buy sponsorship or try to pay me to promote their coin. Not one single blockchain. I've had a lot of like crypto companies, most of them that look really, really scammy, or some that just weren't like if they're not like in a space that I cover, I'm probably not going to partner with them. I usually try to stick to companies like I know well. That's why it's a good chance to shout out non-fungible domains. I got that frugalvc.algo address that you can see here. And that's from non-fungible domains. And then you can just use that instead of your address for almost all applications. Not in Coinbase, that kind of sucks, but pretty much everywhere else. And sure is a lot easier to remember all those letters and numbers. And we have a description for them. Link in the description below. We're also brought to you by Fractal Monster, so I should give them a good shout out. And I partner with them because they're one of the few Web3 gaming companies I think are really doing the right thing, and they're not just like trying to milk their customers, but they're actually building a great game. It's fun. It's a fun little game. I enjoy it. And there's always new stuff. That's what I like. I like to see that. I like when companies are building. First off, they have a live game. That makes them a rarity. 'Cause so many of these companies, they're in perpetual beta, but they're just building. I like it. So anyway, link for them in the description below too. You can actually get a free monster too now. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, look, Algorand was in his list. It was kind of down below. It was Cardano, Polygon, and Algorand. All of these, and this was kind of, I think this was kind of bull run territory at the time, early bull maybe, but yeah, like all of these were higher. All of these three are higher than they are now. Not Solana. Solana's way higher now. And maybe the joke's on actually Chainlink. This Chainlink's lower right now than it was here too. But this was when Bitcoin was at almost under 30,000 and Ethereum was at 1,700. That's wild. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. And like I said, I kind of say this on the side. I said, hey, totally fine to change one's mind. In fact, I kind of prefer it when people are able to change their mind. I think that's great. But I said, I don't ever recall him ever mentioning that he had liked it, but now doesn't. Like, I didn't see that like when he made that video bashing Algorand, he didn't say, hey, I used to like this coin, but I see some things I don't like. Like I would respect that. Like, I don't have to, I might not agree with it, but I respect to say, hey, you know what? I used to like it. I'm seeing some really troubling things. Here's some stuff that troubles me about it. Lack of marketing, for one. I think that's getting better, but I'm going to respond to some comments, but let me see if anyone wants to come on. So just give me a second here. Okay. I just wanted to give a shout out if anyone wants to. I got like a group chat where I have like people can come on or if they want. Let's see. Bitcoin DOM started decreasing. Yeah, interesting. Cryptophiliac. I think this is Adam, right? I saw the video where he went hard on Algo for about 4 months ago. What happened to Anthony Scaramucci and him being an Algo? Oh yeah. Well, he made that like crazy 30 cents prediction, which came true a little while ago. And we're actually under it now, so maybe he wasn't so off, or at least I think we got a ways to go. I think we'll get into that. Deshaun, welcome to the show. He says, "What do you think about X-backed Algorand trying to create native stablecoin?" Yeah, I think that it's the more stable coins, the better. I think those are cool. I tend to use USDCA myself. In fact, I like the USDC USDT pair, which is of course both the Algorand versions. But yeah, I haven't had a problem with stable coins ever. Let's see, Jose Lenny Solidum, welcome to the show. He says, "I may be correct in losing love and support for Algo, lack of community support." Yeah, but I don't think that's what the point he made, though. I think is my problem. I think you could have articulated that better. Instead, he used a lot of cherry pick data that I didn't really appreciate. I think it's fine. I have my own criticism of Algorand, and I've made them. I've made them several times, but unfortunately, I think you got to be honest when you do this stuff. Well, let's see. Do I have one more Algorand thing? Maybe we can switch to Hedera. Oh yeah, this one's kind of interesting. Hold on. I put this together really fast, by the way. All right, so I'm going to share this. It's not going to be super apparent what I'm. If you just read this, you wouldn't know it had anything to do with Algorand, okay? But the European Central Bank has fired a starting gun on distributed ledger technology and capital markets. On December 13th, it launched a consultation on the potential use of new technology for wholesale central bank money settlement. It is inviting both DLT platforms and other market participants to take part in trials or experiments that will run from May to November 2024. So, like these companies, they're interested in this stuff. Okay. And this is the European Central Bank. They are looking at DLT technology. So it identifies two theoretical approaches for settlement using new blockchain technologies. The first is called trigger bridge concept. This is a hybrid of settlement of wholesale transactions on DLT platforms with the cash leg and existing non-DLT infrastructures. Second is settlement of wholesale transaction with end-to-end DLT-based central bank money. So see, like, this is how this stuff is going to get used. Currently, capital markets are very slow and have a cash leg and a securities leg that both need to be processed for a transaction to occur. It ultimately hoped that blockchain will speed up both, or it is ultimately hoped that blockchain will speed up both. Erlich Binsel, Director General of the Market Infrastructure and Payments Division at the ECB, spoke on the webinar. So we are very concrete in our plans for next year. We will focus on interoperability type solutions. We will have experiments and trials. The experiments are defined as mock settlements on the cash side in test environments, while trials are actual settlements of central bank money in the production environment for a limited time and scale to allow us to control. He added that Eurosystem's exploratory work does not constitute a commitment to provide any steady state solution in the future or to make any changes to its current infrastructure. Okay, so that's a lot of it's a lot of text, a lot of stuff, but I'm going to show you why this matters. The actual trials and or experiments will explore three contrasting DLT models that have been developed by Deutsche Bundesbank, Banca d'Italia, and Banque de France. Bank d'Italy. Now, remember Bank of Italy? Their whole settlement layer is happening on Algorand. Remember that? I think it was particularly the insurance part. But I think that's really interesting. That means Algorand has some involvement here. I don't know about Bank of France or the German bank here, Bundesbank. German's really fun to say, isn't it? Bundesbank. I think German's fun to say. I'm actually part German, Polish, and French. In case you're interested. Let's see. Try to find that. Let's just skip to the bank ID. Bank d'Italia's concept is called the TIPS hash link solution, which enables settlement of wholesale financial transactions and central bank money on accounts like a TIPS-like platform set up for the Euro system. Let's take a look at that. Okay, I really thought that was going to load up. All right, we'll come back here. If that loads up, it's not loading up. Weird. Well, and here I thought we were going to learn. Hold on a second. Let me find something. What's it called? I want to learn more about that. Okay, tips hash link. I'll find it, then I'll switch this over. That's the same one that didn't load. It's the first search result and it doesn't load. Okay, man. Here we go. This is right from Banca d'Italia itself. Did I never share the screen? Sometimes I forget that. Hold on. Sorry about that. Oh, now you're trying to speak Polish to me. I learned a couple words when I watched this. There was this Polish like crime show on. It was like these amateur detectives on. Oh, I can't remember what it was called. It was on Netflix. It's kind of good. Number 26, integrating DLTs with market infrastructures. Oh man. So they mentioned Algorand anywhere here? Oh yeah, here we go. Someone named Tips Algorand just-in-time locking takes advantage of features offered by a specific DLT platform, Algorand. In particular, it leverages a native feature of the chosen DLT that simplifies DVP transactions, guaranteeing atomicity. As such, this approach needs two systems to be directly connected to interact with each other. So that's it. That's what's being, that's what's being tested on by the European Central Bank. So for you guys who this the Bank of D'Italia's concept tips hash link solution. It's too bad they don't mention it here, but yeah, it's being tested. No, I know we like a lot of us, crypto folks, we don't really like the centralized stuff, but interesting that I think it's interesting to look at anyway. Just keeping an eye out, see if anybody's taking the bait here. Nope. Which is fair. I just threw it on there. I thought it'd be interesting. Well, we can look at some. If you guys want to, we can look at some Hedera stuff. Let's see. Floyshel says HBAR will be huge. RWA narrative kicks in. Yeah. Hakan says one CMO is guest. I don't know. I should reach out. The problem is, like, I never know if I'm going to be streaming on the weekend or not. And lately, I've been pretty busy during the week, but I could probably make one work. I should ask. Yeah, keep an eye out. We'll see. Plunge Pulski. Yeah, I don't know much. I had picked up like a few words of Polish, and I don't remember them. Love for Algorand. Heck yeah. Well, all right. You guys want some Hedera? Let's do some Hedera news, and let's see if anyone shows up from the chat. Basically, it's a chat with a bunch of developers and other noted Algorand people. Some Coops on there too. Yeah, there's a lot of people. I'm just kind of sorry. I'm like kind of looking. A lot of different people who either have projects or they have NFTs or that kind of stuff. So if they pop in, we'll bring them on and chat. Adam says, "What happened to all the other Algorand YouTubers? Three guys with red hair and Sewell. Well, JT kind of dropped off, and then Crypto for Change and Sewell are kind of doing the show by themselves. They somehow their subscribers really blew up, and I don't know how. It happened within like a really short period of time. Like they hit like 5,000 one day, and then like the next day they hit 6,000. And I'm like, when did that happen? Because I was actually crushing pretty much everybody, and then except for Coop. I'm catching up to Coop too, though. But now they have more subscribers. But I probably get the most views of anybody in any of the Algorand YouTubers by far, because I took the time to learn how it works. Says all I see is you and Coop these days. Yep. Yeah, they're still doing it. I mean, they're kind of expanding out too. Not all their guests are Algorand guests. Andre, welcome to the show. If I haven't said so already, oh, we got Kitty Cat in the screen. Hey, Kitty Cat. It says, "I was fine. Just wait till quantitative easing." Philip Riley, welcome to the show. He says you're still crushing it, bro. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Philip. Yeah, I just I put it as my goal. I'm friendly. I'm friendly with all of them, by the way, just to be clear. But yeah, I put it as my goal. Like I just wanted to be like the #1 Algorand YouTuber. I just wanted to blow it up. And Shiro says, Algorand big runner, just wait. Yeah, I just want to see how big I can get this. And I'm expanding out. The Sweet Network stuff is really interesting. I know like those videos when I do them, they don't do as well. Actually the first one I did last week did like crazy well on search for some reason. So what happens? Any video that's not Algorand, like it usually tanks in the beginning, but sometimes it'll like gather steam. When I used to do Townstar videos, they would tank at first, but then they would just kind of blow up behind the scenes. It was kind of wild. So yeah, no one jumping on, but let's yeah, let me look at hold on, let me clear some space here. By the way, okay, this is really like this is gonna sound so dumb, but I was using these stupid Apple mouses, and they were such a oh my god, were they were just a nightmare. It was like trying to you can switch it so you can have the left right thing, even though there's no actual buttons. But in functionality, it just like it worked terribly. And I just got this Logitech mouse. It's like I don't know, was it even? It was like $18 or something on Amazon, and this thing is like so smooth. It works perfectly. And it's quiet as as a mouse. It's really quiet. I can't, you actually can't hear it click at all. And I don't even care about that. I just want it to work, but it's kind of nice. It just, since it's like your main interface, like it just feels good, you know? So anyway, I know I'm like kind of being silly here, but, yeah, so let's switch to let's talk some Hedera news because there's some really cool Hedera stuff going on. Something I'm going to react to later on, but I mean, first off, we just got this Hashnos information. So this is from Generation Infinity. Breaking Hedera major milestone achieved 100,000 Hashnos inscriptions. 3.1 gigabytes Bitcoin ordinals cost $5.5 million. 3.1 gigabytes of HBAR network cost $1,000. That's a big difference. That's one of the reasons we love Hedera and Algorand for that matter. Both of them are. It's funny. You'll see another Algorand Hedera connection coming up here, but it's a lot of the reasons I like Hedera is what I like Algorand too. Now their tokenomics are very different. 50 billion total supply versus 10 billion, and they have a lot of releases, and it hasn't like really quashed the price too much, other than the fact that it's from what I can see. If you have obviously if you have a huge supply, your general cost per coin is much lower. Anyone talk about this? Hashnos feels like the future. Want to learn more about the Hashnos ecosystem? Get started below. Yeah, let's look at a little more because I don't know if I think we explained this a while back. Here's what you need to know. Inscribe Hashnos, currently 0.5 HBAR, message written, inscription fees will go down. Inscription numbers, learn about the standards. I'm trying to find the thing where we actually talk about a little more about. I'm like just going down the rabbit hole because, okay. Did I mention this is like my frustration in crypto and things don't get explained well? We can find it. Just give me a second here. Okay, we actually have an explanation. Did I mention my big thing in Algorand or in crypto is like how poorly things are explained generally? Okay. Unlocking the future, Hashnos revolutionizing NFT metadata storage on Hedera. Discover how Hashnos are rewriting the rules of NFT metadata storage, ushering in a new era of trust and accessibility on the Hedera blockchain. Hashnos is an innovative protocol introduced on the Hedera network And by the way, this comes, this is like sort of a play on, yeah, there's their highly scalable answer to ordinals. Ordinals are a way to write NFTs on the Bitcoin blockchain. Anyway, offering a novel approach to storing non-fungible domain metadata directly on the Hedera consensus service through the HCS1 protocol. The advancement represents a significant evolution in the management and integrity of digital assets within the blockchain ecosystem. Background and motivation. In the realm of NFTs, there has been a persistent need for standardized and efficient method to store metadata directly on blockchain. Traditionally, NFT metadata has been stored off-chain, relying on platforms like IPFS or Arweave. However, this approach introduces dependencies and potential points of failure. Hashinals address this challenge by enabling the storage of NFT metadata directly on Hadera Hashgraph, reducing reliance on external systems and enhancing the overall trustworthiness of digital assets. So yeah, so that's important. So you have everything on the blockchain that's written and can't be muted, so unmutable, can't be changed. So that's what you want. That's what you want. So that's why it matters. The rest is all, you know, the little more detail. We can dive on that another time. But yeah, I just thought that was really cool. Good for a cool thing happening on Hedera. I wonder if has anyone done anything like this on Algorand? Not that I know of. I think that's kind of neat. Speaking of Hedera and Algorand, let us load up here. I think this is kind of neat. Good grief. That took a really long time to load. Two digital titans unite April 25th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got to look at what time that is. It'd be cool if I could live stream that. I think that's Thursday. Oh, I won't be. If it's Thursday, I won't be able to. No, is it? I don't know. I have to look. Anyway, Lehman Baird, co-founder of Hadera Hashgraph, inventor and chief scientist at Sorrel Labs, and your own John Allen Woods, CTO of Algorand, former chief architect of Input Output. I didn't know about that. He also worked at Cardano with Charles Hoskinson. So this is pretty big. They're gonna have a big spaces together. I don't know if it's gonna be a video space or an audio. I saw that they introduced video spaces. That was something I was thinking about trying is even just a regular spaces, just hosting a space while I'm live streaming and then see if people want to come in and chat. I think that might be kind of fun to do once in a while. Looks like people are excited, mostly on the Algorand side. I don't see a lot of. There's a Hedera person. There's some scam. It's an algo guy. I'm kind of surprised there's more algo because isn't this this generation infinity? Oh, they do like weekly podcasts and stuff. Okay, that's cool. I'm really curious. I think this will be fun to have these two together. Lehman, he'd be fun to talk to. I mean, both these guys are way smarter than me. I'll tell you that much. They know their stuff. But John's a good dude. Like we've had good conversations. Lehman seems like a pretty good dude too. I think it'd be really fun to talk to. Yeah, we got some more stuff. Anyone on? I keep popping back just to check if anyone joined. So by the way, talked about how Al has his own podcast now. The foundation does, and it's actually pretty good. I thought it was. I mean, it's not going to knock your socks off, but it's listenable. You know, a lot of times when companies make these podcasts, they're just awful. And I thought Algorand's was pretty good, but well, guess what? Also, Swirl Labs has its own one too, with Lehman Baird and Mance Harmon, the other co-founder of Hedera. They're going to talk quantum computing in this one. with these two, I gotta think this is gonna be a super nerdy podcast. Like this is gonna be like a deep dive into all the super nerdy stuff. It's about 24 minutes. So that's listenable. We'll have to watch that at some point. I'm not gonna watch it today, I don't think. We can watch a little bit. Let's see.
Okay, so let's start with the very basics. What is a quantum computer versus a classical computer?
In a computer, a traditional classical computer, you have ones and zeros.
That's really loud.
In a quantum computer, you can have a qubit instead of a bit. And a qubit, a quantum bit, can be a 1 and a 0, or it can be both at the same time. And you can say, well, it's 3/4 1 and 1/4 0. Or you can even use amplitudes that have complex numbers in them. So you can have both 1 and 0 at the same time. Superposition of the two. What's more interesting is that if I had 3 bits in a normal computer, it could hold, 3 bits, 1, 1, 0, say. But in a quantum computer, if they're entangled, so they're connected to each other in some quantum sense, then you can have all 8 possibilities superimposed. It is 0, 0, 0, and it is 0, 0, 1, and it is 0, 1, 0, and it is 0, 1, 1, and 1, 0, 0, and 1, 0, 1, and 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1, 1. All 8.
Oh man, this is going to be at least as nerdy as I thought, if not more, and that makes me really want to listen to it. But, oh man, this is cool. Yeah, quantum computing. So I have a friend who used to be a chip designer at Intel. Really smart dude. He's the one that tipped me off on NVIDIA, which proved to be a pretty good tip. When a former Intel person is telling you to go look into NVIDIA, it's usually a pretty good idea. And he was right. He saw that they were doing the right things. But yeah, I find this stuff really interesting.
At once.
At once. So it's in a superposition of all 8 of these at once.
And why is that a good thing?
Well, you could imagine I will do operations and have all 8 of them doing calculations at the same time in parallel, which would be great. Sadly, you can't do that. But you can take advantage of quantum mechanics to sometimes get a little bit of that kind of parallelism that is then much faster than a traditional computer. So you do all 8 things at once in some sense.
So you used a term.
Yes.
It was entanglement.
Yes.
Can you go a little bit deeper on what that is and what it means?
So it is not helpful if I have a bit that's a 1 and a 0, and another bit that's a 1 and a 0, and another bit that's a 1 and a 0. What I really need is a group of 3 bits that are a 0, 0, 0, and a 0, 0, 1, and a 0, 1, 0, and a 1, 1, 1, all 8 at the same time. When we connect them like that, it's called entangled. And so in quantum mechanics, when you're in 2 places at once, you're in a superposition of the 2 states. And if all these different things combine in the way I just described, we say they're entangled with each other. And the problem is, it can all fall apart. And it's really, really fragile. So it can decohere where they all fall apart, they stop being entangled, they stop being in a superposition, and this is now a 1, this is now a 0.
Okay.
Well, he's really good. He's actually really good at explaining this stuff. Like, it's nerdy, but it's also like designed so you can understand it. Like an idiot like me can understand it. Good Lord. I talked with my friend Bob, Pokey Pedal Bob. He talked to the former Intel chip engineer. We talked about quantum computing, and I very quickly realized I was out of my depth. I think it's really interesting, and yeah, I'll probably have to watch more of this. I have to give him credit, man. He really is explaining that well. This is pretty interesting podcast. I'm going to check that out. It's the stuff that's like, it's probably not super entertaining, but you're definitely going to get something out of it. All right. So I want to look at this other one too. I think this is really cool from Hedera. Neuron beta launch. I'm a part of aviation history. Yeah. So what is Neuron? So Neuron just launched its beta. And we're talking about real world stuff, right? Neuron is an open source public network for building, finding, and connecting services. Our mission is to improve the performance, cost, and robustness of service networks and to reduce the risk associated with using intermediaries. We are pleased to announce that our first use case for aviation is now accepting applications into its beta program for aviation. Interesting. The UK has a history of pioneering innovations in aviation. This is in the UK. Who is from the UK? This is for you, buddy. Just one from Wales. Yes. Neuron's UK-based team felt compelled to continue this long tradition of. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys invented the jet engine. I didn't know that. I just always assume everything's invented in the US. I'm kidding, but we do invent a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's cool. I did not know that jet engine was developed in the UK. To the world's first world's first supersonic airliner, right? You guys are all about that aviation, huh? Neuron's UK-based team felt compelled to continue this long tradition to solve one of the biggest challenges plaguing the industry, the integration of drones into our airspace. 4 years ago, Neuron's founders assembled a team of experts and set itself the ambitious target of building a flight tracking network that can meet technical, economic, and regulatory requirements whilst upholding our values of being open, accessible to anyone, and owned by the community. The journey hasn't been easy, but we built products, broke them, rebuilt them, tested them. We've worked with regulators, airports, drone operators, general aviation pilots, and end users. We have demonstrated live drones to packed audiences at Cranfield University's DART Research Facility. This work has all been working towards the aviation singularity to fulfill the final part of our promise to hand ownership over to the community. This is now your chance to become a part of aviation history. How does it work? The Neuron suite of products comprises 3 key user interfaces: the customer 4D Sky flight tracking software, the service provider Jet Vision Air Squitter, the Jet Vision Air Squitter, Air Squitter, maybe, I don't know, sensor. Okay, that's a weird word. The Explorer, which is registration system, and everything map. Yeah, it looks all pretty fancy. Any other software applications can join the network with SDK integration, permissionless, or obtain data feeds via the 4D Sky servers APIs with an enterprise account subscription. And so they're doing this to collect, they're doing the beta to collect feedback, test and debug, improve new features, etc., etc. So you can buy a sensor if you. Okay, the beta program applications are open to anyone in any country. We can post a sensor to. We can meet the following requirements: be willing to purchase a sensor, which is about 500 pounds. I'm not sure what that is in freedom units. Have a suitable installation point. Be able to install the sensor within 3 weeks of receipt. Have mains power and high-speed broadband internet. Following attributes will be desirable. You are technically competent with hardware, Linux command line. Your location is near drone aviation activities. You like sharing stuff on social media. Help spread the word. I'm actually like by our municipal airport. I'm like 2 blocks away from it, by the way. You are proactive and like to provide feedback and improve things. So apparently you just installed this sensor. Interesting. What are the benefits besides bragging rights? Which you all want bragging rights, right? You get improved local coverage. You earn loyalty points. Free 4D Sky Premium. So you get a free subscription for like at least 12 months, and you get a discount on the sensors. Due to us making a bulk order, we managed to obtain a 15% discount off the sensor's online price. So they're actually more than 500. Oh, it's about 620 freedom units, in case you were wondering. Loyalty points. We plan to launch a token when we transition the project to the Hedera mainnet. We anticipate this to be around September, October. So this fall, it'll be switching over to Hadera mainnet, and there will be a token in case you're interested in that stuff. That's pretty interesting. I think that's cool. I like stuff like this. Kind of reminds me of the air sensors on Algorand. That one, I thought about getting involved with that, but I can't remember exactly what it was, but every time I looked into it, it looked somehow it wasn't as uncomplicated as I thought it should be. Can't remember exactly what the deal was. Well, they just didn't have a link to just like, hey, here's the sensor you can buy. Like at least this one, it's like they got the sensor, you just buy the sensor from them and done. So yeah, I think that stuff's really cool. I like that real world kind of stuff, you know. Let's see. Deshaun says, yeah, crypto people say they don't like centralized stuff, but have no problem in using USDC, which is not saying USDC is not cool, but it is a great place for two types of stable coins. Yeah, I think it's fun to have more than one stable coin. And Sean says, "Hello, yeah, those Apple Mouse. Yeah, this one's really terrible. This one I had like a few. It's a long story, but I had a couple like Macs just kind of get handed down to me for various reasons, mostly because of a changeover where I was my day job, which I'm hoping to be done with by the end of the year. And it's cool, you know. It's nice to get this stuff for free, but the mice suck. This mouse makes such a difference." Okay, yeah, I thought the IOHK looked familiar. I thought it had to do with Cardano. Bad Lurker says, I like Hedera a lot, but not as investment tokens, but actual tech. That's how I feel about Algorand too, actually. I don't Algorand and Hedera. In fact, I actually Algorand is more about the tech for me than investment. It says there are a lot of activity on it that don't care about coin speculation. Agree. In both cases, I think that is good. This new CMO at Algorand did, at Algorand did more marketing for Algorand in 1 week than just their whole career. I can't say you're wrong, man. I can't say you're wrong. Crypto Felix says, wonder if you only do algo and if you invest in BTC. Also, what is the explanation behind your name, Frugal BC? Okay, so yeah, actually I have every once in a while, the videos never do very well, but every once in a while I do a portfolio breakdown. So, and then when I do those, people get mad because Algorand's not on there, but that's because all my Algorand, I don't really hold Algorand just to hold Algorand. I actually put it to work. But I have Bitcoin. I have like a lot of other altcoins. I put together like an 8 coins for the bull run, some of which are doing really good. Like Mina did really well. PYR did really well. MetaDAO did like crazy good. All of those, of course, have pulled back a bit, but I took some profits on a lot of those at their highs. PYR has done really well. Blur did terrible. Polygon has done terrible. What else is in there? I bought some Chainlink, but I kind of bought that late in the game, so I don't know if I'd even count that. I think what else? Polygon, XRP did surprisingly bad. Hedera's, I do hold a bag of Hedera for the bull run, so that's on there. Yeah. Oh, Deshaun wants to come on talk about XPact and Algorand. Yeah, we might do that sometime. I'm trying to think what else. What else is on there? Oh, let me just. I think I can pull it up. We got time. And by the way, while I get this loading, if you guys, I know the viewership's dropped off a little bit, but if you haven't already hit the like button, you know, it'd be really great if you hit that like button, because otherwise people ain't going to know about the channel. You know what? I can share this. Hold on. I don't mind. It's not updated, actually. I'm not going to share because it's not updated. But yeah, actually, Near Protocol. Gosh, how did I forget about Near Protocol? I actually have that's like the only coin I'm in Moonbag territory right now, because I bought back in on so many other stuff. Well, I bought back in on Near too, but a little bit. It didn't drop as the same way exactly. But I was actually in Moonbag territory on like 4 or 5 of these. Let's see: Metis, PYR, Near, Mina, Matic, HBAR, XRP, Blur. Oh, sweet. Well, I bought like $75 worth of SWI. I don't have a lot. I want to like start playing around more in the ecosystem because I just really like some of the stuff they're doing. I love it's been live on mainnet for like less than a year. I think it's coming up on a year, and they've already got like a bunch of games out. I just learned about another one recently from the Cool Down Gaming people. They have a good blog. They used to be the Algorand Gaming Guild, and now they're Cool Down, but it's like I think it's like CLDWN or something. Took all the vowels out or something. I don't know. It's kind of hard to find now. It was easier when it was Algorand Gaming Guild. It was pretty easy to find, but they've been covering like Beam and SWI, and like there's a ton of games on SWI. It's crazy. So yeah, I mean, so people have talked about the tokenomics of SWI, and I think that's interesting. Let me see if I can find this. I think this is interesting. Because no one knows exactly what their problem with the tokenomics. It's got the same max supply as Algorand, 10 billion, but of course it's just came out, so like there's not a lot of coins released, and I think some people have expressed concerns about that, which I understand. All right, we got to start closing some tabs here. Sweet tokenomics. All right, let me share this. So yeah, the long and the short of it is I do have a lot of other coins. Sweet tokenomics, collective ID. Let's see. Is this the one that did not have the thing that I wanted? Yeah, it didn't. Shoot. Hold on a second. This might show a little more. I'm trying to think which one I... Well, this will show you the unlock events. Oh, here's the... Yeah. Oh, seriously? You got to sign in. Well, you can kind of see it. It's interesting because it's a really kind of slow investment schedule, and also like some of these don't unlock right away. Like some of the Series A and B don't unlock right away, from what I remember. This one looks like it does though, so that's weird. At least the thing I saw. So Miston Labs is kind of like their, it's kind of like Swirl Labs on Hedera. They seem to be involved in a lot of stuff. Okay, so that wasn't great. This might be the one I was thinking of. Okay, here, yeah. Okay, 1 second, it's just freezing. That really broke my computer. All right, we'll give it a second. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so you can see like the Series A and B, like they didn't even launch right away. And you can see by 2030, I mean, I'm assuming this is a 10-minute or 10-minute, 10-year divestment where it's all going to come out in about 10 years based on the chart. Maybe even more. Maybe it's even more than that. But by 2030, like, yeah, only about 5 billion of this is going to be out. So I don't know. People not like that? Like Miston Labs, they get like a pretty tiny amount. You can see, so they don't get a ton. You could maybe argue this is a little high, but also like they don't launch with it. You know, I thought that was interesting that they don't just launch with, oh, here's a whole bunch of coins before this thing even pops up. Like they made it go, yeah, more than a year. Well, actually, exactly a year. Exactly a year before the Series A and Series B people were given any tokens. I think that's kind of an interesting way to do it. So other than the fact that we're pretty early in on the release schedule, which you'd expect to be for a new token, And it's weird. It's already in the top, you know, what, top 50 already, top 40 even maybe. Let me see. Let's take a look. Where's SWE? Trying to remember. It was like 50 or something. Oh, here, 56. I think it had been in the top 50. And, you know, pretty good price action, 50% up. Or Algorand's like 27%. That's pretty good too, though. But not as good. Yeah, I mean, but this is like a brand new coin and it's up here already. It's wild. All right. Hold on a second here. Back in focus. I got to figure out how to like get it to stop doing that. It's better. It's better now that I've got the other lens on. Felix says, I'd like to see Silvio discuss Algo and its interoperability use case with Bitcoin and how it uses as Rails El Salvador. Yeah, that's interesting too. More and more I feel Algo's successes will be tied in how it serves Bitcoin. Interesting perspective. Yeah, they're definitely not pushing that enough, right? Like I know they're pushing this Python stuff, and I think that's cool, but they got to push this kind of stuff too, right? That stuff matters. I haven't seen anybody from the coming on yet. No one wants to take on Frugal. Yeah, I kind of want John from Non-Fungible Domains to come on again because he's had some really interesting ideas, and we both are pretty critical of governance. But I'd be willing to. I had some pro-governance people too that have come on, or that I've talked to, like off of stream, not on stream, but just in on Twitter or stuff. I'd love one of them to come on. We could talk about it. We can chop it up because I have my issues with governance. I just don't think it's useful. I don't think it works. I think people just want to like. The questions I always get is how can I just stake my algo simply? That's what people want. Give them that first, and then maybe give them a reward on top for governance if you want. I know that's all switching to node consensus anyway. So, yeah. And if you guys, I know I mentioned liking, and then if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. You can see all of our crypto videos. We try to do like 3 a week plus the live streams on weekends here and there. I don't do them every week, but yeah, it's nice to see Bitcoin popping back up. In fact, here. We're starting to see like some recovery on both Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the other coins. Solana over 150 makes me breathe a sigh of relief because I'd been up pretty significantly in profit on Solana. I was in moonbag territory, and then when it popped back down, I was like, oh boy. I bought back in, and I was like, did I just make a big mistake? I don't know. I don't think so, though. Yeah, it's all about patience. Well, I think we had a good, we got some more stuff. Palantir says, F governance, Coinbase votes as per Algorand suggestion. There's the major vote. Our votes mean nothing. I totally agree with that. Totally. Adam says, hey, all, cheers, Frugal. What's going on, Adam? People want an easy, staking situation and hype. Yeah, 100% agree. I think it's just so easy. Dude, on Cosmos, like I just stake it and throw a node, which is what's coming to Algorand. I think it's great. I think we'll have, once they have node incentivizations, people will make pools, and you'll be able to join a pool. So it'll be really, really easy. And it's like, I don't know, Cosmos, it's like 13%. I wish I had my Kepler. I'd show you guys. I don't have Kepler up on this computer, but yeah, he says, it is easy, dude. Algorand makes it hard. They do. Well, it's funny because staking is okay, so here's my Algorand journey. I'll explain my Algorand journey here, okay? Because I started off, I just had bought crypto 2017. I bought crypto summer of 2017 or spring, summer. I just started buying Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin, believe it or not, Litecoin, Litecoin. And then it all blew up, of course, over Christmas. And I was like, oh my God, like I have all this money. Like I didn't expect this. This is wild. I didn't really buy that much, but it blows up and you're like, wow. And then I started seeing some like really crazy behaviors, people taking out loans to buy crypto. And I was like, buy Bitcoin. I was like, okay, this is going to crash. And I started seeing prices come down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get out of this. Got out of it, came back in, and like never got back in until like 2020 and 2020. And then I kind of got back into it again. But then I started buying like I bought Tezos because they had staking on Coinbase. And then Algorand came around. They actually offered a little higher percentage. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll attack with this Tezos. Let's buy some Algorand. And then Coinbase one day shut off. And I was actually this is kind of when I started my channel. And I was someone asked me what Frugal BC means. Well, so when I started my channel, I actually started as a personal finance channel. But when I talked about crypto, people actually cared about that. So and then I would talk about Algorand. I was like, hey, you can make like 5% just holding this thing and doing nothing. That seems pretty cool. Well, and then Coinbase ended staking. And so I was like, all right. But I learned that you can just stake right in the wallet. So I'm like, well, I'll do that instead. And actually, I think the percentage was a little better too. And then that all went away with governance. And then I was excited. I was excited about that. And yeah, and then that kind of got me to buy a wallet. And then, or not buy a wallet, but download a wallet and use that. And then Yieldly came out. The day Yieldly came out, I read an article about it. I was like, oh man, that's on Algorand. Hey, this is like the first DeFi thing. I got to try that. And well, we all know how that went. Yieldly didn't do so well, but in the beginning it was fun and exciting. And I was like, wow, this is really neat. This is what got me into doing DeFi and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my thing. Frugal BC. So I was like I said, as a personal finance YouTuber is what I started out as, and that's where the Frugal comes from. BC is just my name. It's what I use for my byline when I write too. I use BC. I don't use my regular name. But I thought BC kind of like works because it also stands for blockchain. It also could stand for Bitcoin, and it doesn't have the T in there, but. Yeah, sorry. I thought it was sorry, Cryptophilic. I thought this was one of your channels. I thought it was one of Adam's channels, but this is Adam. Adam's Palantir, yeah. It says, I'm so scared once Algorand pops, people sell. We're all underwater eventually when people are gonna sell. So there's also Silvio had all eyes on him to bring attention to Algorand. He speaks about Magellan. F Magellan and your BS speech. So, Adam, you're not a fan of the new CMO? I think he's doing better than Stacy was. Were you the one that said that, or someone else say that? Maybe that was Cryptophiliac. Well, yeah. Yeah, so this is Adam. Palantir is Adam. I'll say Adam, you were one of the good ones to me. A lot of other people, like I think, tried to tank me. It didn't work so well, but you were always cool to me. We hung out at Decipher. We had a good time. Adam's a good dude. But I think that's it for today. Almost 2 hours. So it's a pretty good live stream. I think we had some fun. I think we learned some stuff. And yeah, I guess if I'm going to leave you with some parting words, just stay safe out there. The bull run, like I said, it doesn't this pop off. It's not going to happen right away. I don't think it's going to happen right away. If it follows the past and how that's worked, I think we'll probably got a few more months before Bitcoin really pops off, and maybe another 6 months or more before altcoins pop off. So you just gotta stay patient. if you've loaded up your bags, now's the time to just chill, take some profits when it rises. I'm a big fan of taking profits. If you're up, take some profits. You don't have to take all of it. You just take a small slice of it. That's just my opinion. Other people might feel differently. This is a buy and hold strategy. You can do that too, but yeah, good stuff. Thanks for joining, everyone. Bitcoin 0. Oh boy. We'll see. All right, guys, stay safe out there. Take care, everyone. Be good to each other, and watch Karate Combat on Hedera tonight. That's gonna be big. I gotta remember to watch that. That'll be fun. Luke Rockholt. I didn't share it on stream because I think a lot of people, by the time they see it, it'll be over. But yep, you guys take care, and